Hi, welcome to Arlington. The first year is always the most difficult, but please don't let it get you down. It takes a couple of years to get everything the way you want it to be, but I will tell you that classroom management is the most important thing. It's very key, essential to have an engaged classroom. So, on your observation periods or your conference periods, look around at other teachers that have engaged classrooms. And my advice would be to go up to them and ask them if they don't mind you observing their classroom and see what they do that makes their classroom work. Again, welcome to Arlington. We're happy to have you.
My piece of advice is to find a place outside of your classroom to eat lunch. It is not worth your sanity, in my opinion, to get one stack of papers graded during lunch instead of having a mental break. If your teacher's lounge is not the appropriate place, find somewhere else, but get outside of your classroom, find someone to talk to about things that are not school related. Just have a break, because especially if you're in a classroom with no window like me, it starts feeling like a dungeon. So you want to get out of there, you want to get a change of scenery, you want to talk to an adult, have an adult conversation, and then you'll feel refreshed to go back to being with the students and working after you've had a break.
Be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. There's always someone out there you can ask for help. Just call.
Okay. Hi, my name is Cindy, and I just have three advices or three main points. So the first one is, if you need help, make sure you ask for help. There's a lot of people in the district that they can help you. They're really nice. And the second thing is just be patient. It's going to take time. And I know the biggest thing that everybody's going to tell you is like classroom management, but you have to think and you have to keep in mind that until you try it, you're not going to be good at it. So you have to try it. And once you start building routines, it's going to be good. And then the last thing, which I think is the most important one that has helped me a lot, is building a relationship with my students and also the people that I work with. That's going to make it easy for you.
Okay, first thing, I think that you are going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's okay, because I think it's through our mistakes that we learn to be better educators. In fact, I think that the best teachers are teachers who are always open to learning new things, because our students, our schools, the knowledge that we have is always going to be changing and growing. And I think that it's the responsibility of teachers, if you want to be an excellent educator, to be able to grow and morph with them.
Hey, my advice for a new teacher would be to never be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Even experienced teachers get overwhelmed at times. My hardest part of my teaching career was actually when I switched from teaching high school to junior high. It was a totally different approach to planning as far as time management, and I got completely overwhelmed after a few weeks and had to step back and re-examine things and totally change my approach to my lesson planning, even as an experienced teacher. So when you don't have that experience, that's going to happen. You're going to have to reevaluate things. And teaching can be very time consuming. It can consume your entire life if you allow it. So finding ways, what works for you to create the balance. For me, it was making sure that I tried to do all my planning at school. And if I had to take something home, I took home papers that had to be graded so that in a way that I could still interact with my family, but get my work done at the same time. I did my homework when the same time I was doing my kids' homework. But it's much easier to be interrupted while you're grading papers than it is when you're in the middle of planning an idea, and then when you come back, that idea is lost. Those graded papers, you're still going to be able to find your place when you come back to those. So that's something that worked pretty well for me. But there are seasons in life. Some are hard, some are good. You have to deal with all of them.
Hi, what advice would I give to new teachers? The first year was very tough for me. I didn't want to come back the second semester. I was thinking after Christmas, this is it for me. I have to look for another job. But I came back. I got through the first year, and I decided to focus on classroom management the second year. Along with that, I implemented target language 90% of the time. I started right away, day one. With that kind of gave the kids the idea, hey, I need to speak Spanish at all times. And along with that, I felt that they learned more this year than I did the previous year. It was really rough the first year when I didn't implement it because they got used to just speaking English most of the time. But the second year, it was no. We're speaking Spanish at all times. And that kind of made my classroom management better with the procedures that I set up for my classroom, and also being consistent. Consistency is the key for being a teacher. Doing the same thing every day, and they'll get that. And you have to make your procedures your own. If you have to borrow some procedures from other teachers, that's fine, but make them your own. That's just going to be the key, being consistent. That's probably my best advice that I can give. Consistency in your classroom. Okay, well, I'll see you there.
Hi, I just wanted to mention that a lot of students come to us with different backgrounds, and we don't even know if they've had breakfast when they come in. And so you need to think about and consider that a lot of students come to you from different backgrounds, and maybe they don't eat breakfast or dinner the night before. And a lot of teachers like to keep granola bars or crackers or snacks just for those few that sometimes are like, I'm hungry, I didn't get to eat today. And also remember that you don't know what happened in the morning when they got out of the car, and before they got out of the car, what kind of conversation went on and what kind of baggage are they bringing in for the school day, and try to help them get over that before they can start learning. Have a great year.
Greetings, my name is Dr. Frazier, and I have been teaching for 15 years at every level through K through 20. And my advice to you for new teachers is to delegate authority in your classroom. This may sound strange, but it's a great idea to let students help you. You don't have to do everything. Let students pass out papers, collect papers, alphabetize stuff so it's easier for you to grade. Let them run messages or open the door for people that need to come in or leave. The more you delegate, the easier it'll be for you, and students will also develop a better relationship with you. So that'll help you in the long run as well. And if you have students that have behavioral problems, if you give them something to do, that also usually smooths itself out too. So delegate, strengthen relationships, and you'll have a smoother transition. And I hope the best for you.
Welcome to Arlington. So glad you are joining us here. Best place to be, by the way. When you are getting ready to start the year and moving out through the year, my best advice to you is plan ahead as much as you possibly can and utilize the resources there to help you plan ahead. So if you have someone in your building who makes Xerox copies, let them do that. If you have teachers that you work together with in your PLC, stay on task when you're doing that. Things are going to come up that you can't control, but the more you are prepared and ahead, the better you're going to be able to adapt to that. And there are people there willing to help. Don't be afraid to ask for help and focus on the positive. Sometimes people around you won't, but there are plenty of positive things to focus on. Have a great year.